Unlike my father, I'm actually here. Welcome back to Trenton Talks. I know it has been a hot, solid minute, and I'd like to thank you all for your patience as I get back into making content again and juggling mental health struggles and juggling how much free time I have. As you can clearly see in the background, right now, I'm trying to test something out related to a green screen feature I saw with my Mac computer. Granted, it's not perfect, as you can see. There's some times where, like, yeah, I do this and you can see around my room, which is a little bit weird, but you know what? It works. Like, I guess it technically works. Okay? So, we have a lot to talk about in this Trenton Talks, because a lot happened when I was gone. And real life-wise, and some online stuff. And I honestly just want to get into it, because I miss this. Okay, let's talk about the big one. Nintendo Switch 2. Now, people here on Trenton Talks, if you've been an avid watcher, listener, whatever, would know my stance on the Switch 2 being that I was planning on getting one, sometime between August, September, November was around the rough timeline I believe I said. And joke's on you, I got it in June. But not without a few, let's just say, bumps in the road. So let's start at the beginning, shall we? I was on call with my Australian friend, and I wanted to get this. He was talking about his Switch 2 for weeks and weeks on end. And you know what? New console, he's happy about it, whatever. But also, I was seeing Mario Kart World video on my Twitter account, and I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm missing out. I'm having major FOMO right now, and FOMO is a dangerous thing, or fear of missing out. Because when you're doing that, when you have that FOMO, you feel like you're not really a part of the group. You kind of feel like out there. You don't feel like you're fitting into it, you're just kind of, you're on a separate island from everyone else, And so the FOMO got so bad to the point where in June, I don't remember the exact date, I bit the bullet and bought a Switch 2, not from a store, off of eBay, for $700. Now you might be thinking, okay, scalpers, whatever, because I did buy it from a scalper, yes, it was technically scalped. And you're thinking, okay, $700 seems reasonable if you got the Mario Kart World Bundle. I didn't get the Mario Kart World Bundle. I got a normal Nintendo Switch 2 and had to buy Mario Kart World separately. And, let's start off with the look of this thing. I absolutely love this thing. I've had it for August now? June, July, August. I've had it for about 2 months now, okay? And the look of this thing is beautiful. The screen is so fucking bright and so fucking good. And then you get over to the Joy-Cons as well, and the Joy-Cons are so cool. Now, if you're asking me, shut up. If you're asking me if I've really messed with the mouse feature, I can say no. The only time I've used the mouse feature is if I'm really, really feeling lazy and I go to start a game and I'm at my bed and I just use the mouse feature to start it. But I haven't actually played around with the mouse feature that much, which I feel like is fine. The mouse feature isn't for everyone, and you know what? I don't feel like the mouse feature is usually meant for me. As someone who prefers to play with controllers or the Joy-Cons itself, I'm not really going to use the mouse feature. I'm going to be honest with you. Again, very, very cool gimmick, okay? Very cool gimmick, but it's definitely not for me. I do see the use for it, by the way. And then let's get over to the launch pack in Mario Kart World, shall we? Is Mario Kart World worth the money it is charging for? Let's put it bluntly, no. Sure, there's a lot of content in it, and absolutely, these are the things I love about Mario Kart World. I love Knockout Tour. That is the most, refreshing, this whole game is the most refreshing take I've seen in Mario Kart in so many years. And also, Knockout Tour just accelerates that. For people who don't have Mario Kart World or haven't played it yet, Knockout Tour is a continuous race until people get knocked out and then there's a first place victor. And I feel like that is now my definitive way to play Mario Kart is Knockout Tour. I feel like Nintendo completely changed the way I think about Mario Kart in this game. Now, do I feel like the open world capability is kind of cool? Yes-ish. See, I know that right now, gearing towards open world is more of a general trend in gaming, but also I don't really care for open world games. The only like open world game I've played is Minecraft, really, and Minecraft's great. Okay, don't get me wrong, Minecraft's great. In fact, many streams on this channel will tell you that Minecraft is great. But I don't feel like every single video game franchise needs to be turned into open world. It just doesn't make any fucking sense to me. I know it probably makes sense to some people, but also, did Mario Kart World really need to be open world? Let's be honest here. Do I think like the multiple ways you can go in a course is very fucking cool? Yes. Do I think the open world mode is stupid? Yes. Is there a happy medium where the courses can be open world and there's no open free roam? Yes. The only time I feel like free roam is cool is when you're waiting for the next match. Free roam by itself is not a game cell, it's the air show. Now, if you remember, one of the things I mentioned I was doing on my community post was I was going to go to an air show. And furthermore, I did do that. And I'm not going to say I had the best time. And here is specifically why I did not have the best time. I am not a rides person. The air show I went to was a mini carnival with basically a few games, few rides, and of course food. Now again, I'm not a rides person and I'm also afraid of heights. So that is not a good combination when a lot of it's roller coasters and rides that like go high up in the air and just start fuck ass spinning. Right? Like that's not a great combination for me. I am not one that gets sick easily, either, so I think I could actually handle the really spinny rides, but it's the fact that it just gets high up and no. Plus also, I've had bad experiences in, with carnivals. I guess Disney World isn't, okay, theme park, let's go theme park. So, this example I'm going to bring up is what happened to me at Disney, while I was riding the Lilo and Stitch ride. And like, again, my fear of heights is like pretty bad. Like, so much so that if people who went to Disney World will know that the Lilo and Stitch roller coaster is a little bit high up off the ground. Not like super duper high, like, off the camera. It's like about, like, here, like, mine gets more off camera, but like, less. And me and my family we're going on it, and, there's like an open facing spot, okay? And then the ride suddenly stops at the open facing spot, because the ride broke down, and I was on it, and I was afraid of heights, and basically there was also like a little dance party going on down there that was playing EDM, so I was looking at that, and I was also being afraid of heights, it wasn't helping. So I just had bad experiences with like carnival rides in general, things of that nature. So while all my friends rode rides, I kind of just sat there, was the stuff watching, Then after that, we went to go get food, okay? So when we were gonna go get food, I got a large bucket of fries, a sandcastle drink thing. Yes, it had Coca-Cola inside of a sandcastle filled with ice. And then I also got chicken strips. I'm like, okay, you know what? Carnival food is expensive. I'm expecting to pay around $25 for this, right? I feel like that's about fair, No, not fair. Carnival food and carnivals in general are scummy, but I was expecting to pay a lot less than I did. And they rang everything up, right? Large bucket of fries, which barely had any fries in it. Big ass thing of Coke, and then 3 chicken strips. And they're like, yeah, that would be $40. $40! Excuse me, $40. Like, I paid. Maybe I have a problem with money. I paid for the $40. But at the same time, god damn it, man. I never felt more ripped off in my life. And listen, I paid for it only because I have social anxiety when it comes to that things. Like, I have very bad anxiety when, like, for example, when I go to pay something and I don't have the money when I thought I did. And when my friend does it too, and they go pay for something and they don't have the money, and then they have to call their bank, and yada yada yada. And that actually happened to me. I walked out of the store because I was just sweating bullets. I don't know why I have this problem. I don't get it. I truly don't. But alright. Now we're segueing into the next topic. I guess private camping with friends. I guess this isn't really a topic. It's another thing I did. None of these are topics, okay? These are just things I did. Leave me alone. So I went to my friend's work over the 4th of July weekend which is, I'll elaborate on 4th of July a little bit later, because that has actual weight, like, in on itself, than you think it would. But it does. So I went to the campsite at the 4th of July, right? We got a private little cabin, me and like 3 of my other friends. And this was a Christian camp. Now, I don't know if you know this or if you can gather this from watching previous Trenton Talks. I am an atheist. So it was a really weird time to just walk into like the lobby of the camp place and just see a bunch of fucking Bible quotes. Also, I neglected to mention that this is also a camping site for kids. I am 20 years old. I am a little bit out of the target demographic for this by a good solid 5 years, give or take. And, well, this was a kids campsite. Don't worry, the whole thing was abandoned. It was me and the 3 friends. Because, you know, it was 4th of July. The kids were out with their parents celebrating. And we played some Mario Kart World, like, the first day that we got there while we were waiting for fireworks. And it went swimming. It was pretty nice, because it was like a private lake. Not private lake, sorry. It was like a lake enclosed by a bunch of, like, rich people houses. Which is where this gets to my next point, where it's 4th of July. And 4th of July, all of a sudden, rich people fireworks just start going fucking off the wazoo. And, like, I don't know specifically what was in the air that day. And, my most non-emotional friends started, like, crying and, like, reflecting on how old we're getting. And I'm not laughing because of the experience. I'm just remembering it because it was just so out of the blue. And this is a good thing, okay? Sharing emotions is a very, very good thing. But it was kind of weird because someone who's not, like, sharing emotions or isn't, and, like, when you try and, like, talk emotions to this person, they'll just kind of shut it down and, like, oh, yep. Like, not really, I don't feel like really wants to talk about emotions. It was kind of weird. But again, everyone needs to get that out at some point, which, you know, guess it was prime time for them, and you know what, we all shared emotions that day, and it was very beautiful, except some fuck ass that didn't want to share emotions. They know who they are. Okay, next is I also, during the camping trip, watched the new Jurassic Park movie, and oh my god, I genuinely feel like the movie was so fucking good. And it's crazy because, again, this happened in July, okay? A lot of this happened in July, a month ago. Now, I've had so much things happen between July and August to the point where I don't remember most of the plot. But I can officially say, bomb-ass movie, okay? I remember, I actually, like, there was certain scenes where I could feel the horror and, like, dread in the actors, and then I honestly got mad at the twist villain, even though we could probably guess that he was a villain. It was still a little bit of a twist move. And honestly, I have no complaints with how every character was written. Every character felt like it had a purpose to be in the movie. The environments looked amazing. The dinosaurs, even the new dinosaurs that they made just for this movie, look fucking amazing as well. And every dinosaur plays a crucial, like, point to the plot, which if you remove the dinosaurs out of the equation, doesn't feel the same. Which I couldn't say about any Jurassic World movie, to which I feel like if you remove the dinosaurs out of the equation, with the exception of the first Jurassic World, then it feels like a normal movie. And I don't know if it was because they got the original director for the first 2 movies on it again, and maybe they brought some writers back, I'm not quite sure, but everything about that movie felt like it stands tied and true with the first 2 movies. And so I don't think it's in theaters anymore by the time that this is getting uploaded, probably. But if it is, you gotta go see it. You actually have gotta go see it. I know I didn't do a great job of convincing. That's mainly because, again, it's been a month since I've seen it. I forget things. But from what I remember, it's a bomb-ass movie. It's so fucking good. And if it's on streaming services or digital platforms, when you're seeing this, you need to get it. You just need to get it. You gotta get it. And watch it. Okay, next. I know I'm kind of speed running through these, but mainly because I don't feel like it's like an actual Trenton Talks. I kind of feel like it's just like an update video kind of thing. Even though it's not technically an update video, I guess. Next, how I cut myself on a toilet seat. Now, you might be thinking, No, no, not a toilet seat, sorry, a toilet lid. Now you might be thinking, Trenton, how the ever-loving fuck do you cut yourself on the toilet lid? I'll tell you. So this actually starts back 2 or 3 years ago, when in the middle of the night, someone did not put the toilet seat back on correctly, and sometimes we have a problem with our toilet, I'm not going to get too much into it. And it slid off the toilet seat lid, and it just shattered on the floor. Now, it shattered in actually like Lego piece like shit. So every single time you have to take the toilet seat off, you just gotta put it back together like it's a Lego set. Which is fine, because it's not really that complicated. I honestly don't mind doing it. But, so now having that context, you now know how the toilet seat gets broken, so now, toilet lid gets broken, so now we're at today. Or I guess June. July. I guess July. Anyways, so, in July, I took a bath, right? Came out of it, and I forgot to flush the toilet, so I went to go flush the toilet real quick. But I put my finger perfectly inside the little hole there, and then pulled it out. And as soon as I did that, my finger was covered in blood. Now, it's not the most amount of blood I've ever seen from my body. That would be when I got my wisdom teeth taken out. That's a story for another day. Goddamn, I hurt. So I scrambled around trying to find a bandage, or I guess band-aid, as I'm like fucking getting my blood essence all over the place. And like, it didn't hurt, okay? It was just bleeding. Like, it didn't like actually feel like stinging or anything like that. It just kind of just started bleeding, which I understand fully. You know, it's not crazy. And that's actually about it. It took about like 2 weeks to heal. But also, like, around that time, I could only, like, think that this has to only be... I have to be the only fucking person on Earth that's ever done this. I feel like I was. Now, let's get back more into some great things. So, this is another bit of a Trenton Talks update, just like the Nintendo Switch 2 segment was. If you remember correctly, about a month or two ago, or 3, whatever, I posted a Trenton Talks where I either briefly mentioned or talk about the fact I ran over a down power line and fucked over my 2012 Nissan Versa that I had at the time, to the point where it was not drivable anymore, and I had to go searching for a new car. And I can officially say, with the help of Trenton Talks being on pause, my brain was super fucking motivated to get this car. And as soon as I got that car, I was like researching cars, like almost the entire time when I wasn't on that vacation. And I finally found a fucking car that was in my price range. And it's actually like pretty modern and shit. I am now the proud owner of a 2020 Nissan Rogue. And you might be thinking, if I remember correctly, I briefly talked about how this has made me the most stressed I ever was this year. Not to get too much into details, because I feel like I've already talked about this before, and if I haven't, new information. But I currently have 2 family members suffering with some sort of cancer. It's not a crazy thing to deal with, and I was juggling that as well as the car fucking itself over in June. A lot happened that month, so it was very good to just step away, reconsider my thoughts, come back here. And then in July, it was like kind of like when my brain started falling back in place, and I just fucking got the car and then closed out a deal late July, early August. And I absolutely love that thing. It is one of the best purchases I think I've ever made in my life. Sure, it's on a loan. I know I can pay it off, but also at the same time, it feels good to have a car again. I honestly felt like isolated without a car, which I know is fucking funny. But the town I live in has literally nothing to do, and all my friends are either in the same town, but they're like 10 minutes out, or then a different town, which is 20 minutes away. So the likelihood of me seeing them was a little bit rarer than it usually was. So I was happy to get that new car, and I've been hanging out with people since I got the new car. Like, in fact, I watched Superman, and I watched the How to Train Your Dragon reboot. Both are movies that I thought would be better than expected. But I'll do more of a deep dive in that in a later Trenton Talks, because I want to talk about media that I've watched more in depth since I was gone. which includes talking about the Jurassic Park movie more in depth as well. Because I've been catching up on media as well during this time. But yeah, no, I got a new car. It actually runs very nice. It's a 2020 Nissan Rogue. And you know what? I know it's a mom van, but you know what? It's my mom van, okay? Okay, now this one, we are down to our last 4 topics. Thank you so much for being here with me. I know that this is like a long-ass Trenton Talks, maybe. I don't quite know until I start editing. From the time at the bottom is a story. It's a fucking story time with Trenton. Okay, so I was at work working night shift as I usually do, right? And this guy comes in and wants 5 salads taken out. And because he's having a party, right? And so he wants croutons on the side with all of them. My dear wonderful coworker read that ticket, still put croutons on all of them. And I was like, okay, we just gotta remake it. We gotta take the croutons out, no big deal. There's one salad we offer at my job called the spinach and chicken salad that has crushed croutons to the point where it's hard to just pick it out of the salad, which is sucky, whatever. So we just remake the spinach and chicken, not really that big of a deal, to be fair. And after all the salads and croutons are made, we bag it up. He picks it up and takes it on his way, right? Then we were telling the lady up front about it, who hands the food to people, and she was like, you know that one of them in the party is celiac, right? Which, by the way, wasn't on the ticket. And if you don't know what a celiac is, it is a severe allergic reaction to gluten. Croutons have gluten in it. So there's a chance we could have sent someone to the hospital that day. I don't know. Alright, I have no idea. Let's talk about the thing that I already gave my thoughts a little bit on Twitter, which I don't know. You can follow me if you want. No, that's cool. Thanks. Vshojos and charity. Now, if you don't know what Vshojos was, I would normally say is in this case, but was because they kind of exploded on themselves. They were a VTuber agency. You know, things of that nature. Hang on, I feel like this requires something else, right? If I was to talk about something VTubing related, I genuinely feel like I need to look the part and fit the part. So, okay, yep, this feels much better. Alright, next we gotta talk about, now that I'm finally properly here, Vshojos charity. Now, this VTuber model is a little bit wonky, whatever. You know what was kind of wonky? The fact that Vshojos stole charity money from Iron Mouse and the Immune Deficiency Foundation, which is fucking insanity if you really think about it. That a company needs to steal charity money. Now you might be thinking, is there more people Vshojos stole money from? And for which I'd say, you are right on the fucking money. Vshojos not only stole money from Iron Mouse, but stole money from almost every fucking client in their talent agency. And on top of that, lied about how well they're doing to the talent agency, to the talents in front of their fucking face. It's crazy. I know, isn't it? So, now scratching my head, the VTuber model did not work that well for that. Now that you have that context aware, what did Vshojos do besides funnel the charity money? Did they make it up to the clientele at all by kind of, saying, you know what, maybe we're failing, struggling, and I apologize for that, and also we'll work hard to try and get your money to you that we've been withholding, and get the Immune Deficiency Foundation charity their money? No, because instead what Vshojos did, say that they didn't know that the money would be used for charity, and for the fact I forgot to mention, for a purposeful reason until now, it was doing a charity subathon, to which the main CEO and creator of Vshojos also was there in the chat and was fully aware that all the money getting donated to this was for charity. Let that sink in, because holy shit. I don't know how any company could fuck that up that hard, but they did. So keep in mind, from what I've told you, they funneled charity money, they funneled talent money, and instead of paying them all They fucking shut down and betrayed the trust of every VTuber that was in the VTubing agency. Now, here's where my opinion comes in, shall we? I don't think funneling charity money is good. Wow, I know, basic ass statement. I know, it's not crazy, but it truly is not that good. And on top of that, Vshojos itself is so fucking scummy now that we know everything that's... We don't know everything that's come out, okay? We know the things that we've been given publicly. But there's definitely more that's coming, right? Like, let's be real here. We know for sure there's gonna be more that's coming. And, like, the things that have already came out, I'm not painting the company in a good light. And the fact that the CEO has been unusually silent from, you know, after they shut down the company, because usually CEOs would be like, okay, here's what we did wrong, let's move on, let's ruin another fucking company, right? Nope, not here, nope, nada. Fucking insanity. The balls and nerve of the Vshojos CEO to pull this shit off is sucky, okay? Because truly anyone in the VTuber community would point to Vshojos as being one of the more trustworthy ones. Because the fact of, this is something that VTubing agencies usually don't do with their clients. It was for the simple fact that if they choose to ever leave the company, the IP does not belong to the company, but instead belongs to the talents. And Vshojos really seemed like it was caring for talents. But I guess you really can't trust talent agencies. And the fact that a lot of these VTubers that were with Vshojos has now possibly lost trust in people because of one fucking scummy CEO. It's insanity. I hope everyone who deserves the fucking clarity and who deserves the money that they get fucking gets it. Because I don't know if you can tell by my really fucking janky VTubing model, but I am pissed. I am fucking pissed that this happened. And Vshojos, really do better. But enough about that angry rant. Enough of that angry rant. I guess it's time to finish off the last topics with real life me. And you know, this video will no longer be as cursed. Now that we're back in, I guess, normalcy. I don't know what to call this shit. Let's talk about the two next topics, which one's going to be fairly short and the other one's going to be fairly long. Let's start with the shortest one. I got the motherfucking raise, finally. Last thing, before we end off this Trenton Talks video, Hulu is shutting down next year, which is really fucking funny. Because I don't know if you remember, but literally one of my all-time favorite Trenton Talks I've ever filmed is the subscription services one. And the fact that I praised Hulu so much, only for Disney to shut it down and integrate it into just Disney Plus next year is going to be fucking insanity. Now, to be fair to this, it makes sense from a business standpoint. You do not want a streaming service of yours competing with another streaming service of yours. You just want everything in one solid place. But another, god fucking damn it, because I absolutely hate Disney Plus, okay? And you know what? I'm gonna save my Disney Plus rant for a spin-off of the subscription services I like video to when I do a subscription services I hate video, because Disney Plus is surely up there. But it's a shame. It is a shame that Hulu is actually shutting down. Because I've been a Hulu customer for about 2 years now. And it's just one of the best purchases I've ever made. Seriously, every month, one of the best. If you have like $7.99 a month, really, go spend it on Hulu. If you don't, that's fine too. But yeah, that's officially it for my welcome back video on Trenton Talks. I can't say expect an upload schedule because I don't know what my time looks like. I will get videos out as quick as I can, but I don't know what that looks like, and until I don't fucking know, I still won't know what that looks like. Yeah, thank you so much for watching this Trenton Talks. I greatly appreciate your support on every one of these, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye!